I could be brainwashed because I'm just come out of the camp. I was just in the UAE camp bubble. So maybe I'm brainwashed. The sense I got is we have not seen the best Tadej Pogačar. That like the rider we're going to see in 2026 is going to be better than the rider we saw in 2025. I'm going Pogačar. I think he's going to sweep the monuments. I think we're going to see something.
Crazy. You are.
It's not impossible though, which is wild.
It's true. It is possible. It is definitely possible.
Everybody, welcome back to The Move Plus. I'm Spencer Martin. I'm here with Johan Bruyneel. This is our last weekly episode of 2025. Sad that it's ending, but I'm already excited for that 2026 cycling season, Johan. But in this episode, since we're a little light on the weekly news, I'm going to be going through 2026 predictions, getting Johan's predictions. I'm going to give predictions. This is for the winners of the Monuments, Grand Tours, World Championships. And then at the end of the year, at this show next year, Johan, we're going to go through and grade our predictions. So that should give people something to look forward to throughout the year. Then we'll talk a little bit about the cyclocross going on, Oscar Onley to Ineos. And then, of course, the most important thing of the year, our Strava mileage kilometer challenge. Who is ahead? Who is probably going to win that with only 3 days left in the year? But first, let's hear from our partners for today, and then we'll get Johan's predictions for 2026.
Everybody, this episode is brought to you by Huel. Every December, I tell myself this is the year I'm going to stay locked into my routine. And then suddenly I'm traveling. I'm bouncing between family dinners and my nutrition plan completely falls apart. But this year, shockingly, Huel is the reason I'm solving this problem. That's Huel, Huel. This morning, went on a ride with some friends. Didn't have time for lunch when I came back before some family obligations. Didn't matter because I had Huel's ready-to-drink shake. It's a complete meal in a bottle, 35 grams of protein, 7 grams of fiber, and 27 vitamins and minerals. No prep, no mess, just grab it and go. It keeps me full when the alternative is either not eating or grabbing whatever random snack is closest. Or if I'm traveling, the dreaded airport food hall. Stay away from that thing if you want to be healthy. Huel also has a new chocolate peanut butter flavor, which is dangerously good and keeps me away from the chocolate peanut butter cups. You know, I love those. And I've also been loving Huel's new canned daily greens drink as well. 42 vitamins and nutrients, 4 grams of fiber, only 25 calories, and no added sugar. In December, when my vegetable intake tends to fall off a cliff, this is key. I ran out. I left town. Someone drank all of them in the house. They liked them so much, came back. They were gone, but Huel sent me some new ones, so I'm good to finish off the year. And Huel is now available nationwide at Target. Just check out the health and wellness aisle. Get Huel today with this exclusive offer for new customers of 15% off with code THEMOVE at huel.com/THEMOVE. That's HUEL.com/THEMOVE. And use code THEMOVE at checkout for 15% off. Everybody, this episode is brought to you by OneSkin. If you're like me, your skin needs some extra care this time of year. Between colder weather and the holidays fast approaching, it can feel like a nonstop stress to your system. That's why I've continued to rely on OneSkin. It's been invaluable to have a daily routine that delivers both powerful skincare and longevity benefits on just a few simple steps. At the core is their patented OS1 peptide, the first ingredient proven to target cells, the root cause of wrinkles and loss of elasticity. And these results have now been validated in 5 different clinical studies. Known for their cult skincare favorites like OS1 Body, OS1 Face, and OS1 Eye, OneSkin stands out for their science-first approach to skin aging, delivering hydration, barrier support, and powerful longevity benefits in every product. And I got to say, their dispensers they're just fun to use. I'm using the OS1 Face every morning and evening, and I look forward to it. That it's a little piece of design that makes your day better. And so for a limited time, try OneSkin for 15% off using code THEMOVE at oneskin.co/THEMOVE. That's oneskin.co/THEMOVE. After you purchase, they'll ask you where you heard about them. Please support the show by telling them we sent you. Again, oneskin.co/THEMOVE.
All right, Johan, before we start, you're back in the Costa Blanca. Is that correct, to finish off the year?
I am.
Mileage in?
I just arrived, so apologies for the quality, image and sound, because I have to do this from my phone. The Wi-Fi where I'm at is not great, so apologies on beforehand. We're back here for a week in Benissa, close to Calpe. So we'll see if there's still There's obviously not, the teams are not here anymore now. They're all gone home for the holidays, but there's still some individual riders and little groups of 3-4 professionals who stay here over the holidays. So it's going to be a lot better weather than when we were there, Spencer.
It's got to be. I'm traveling around the world bringing rain with me wherever I go. So
you're also in a very exotic place, no?
An undisclosed exotic place. Yeah, I'm in Maui for the New Year's. I used to live here. I'm visiting friends, family. This is not just some George Hincapie super swish retreat that I'm on. I'm on family business here, but it's a good place to ride. Probably not as good as the Costa Blanca. I do find myself missing the Costa Blanca, even though our audio is cursed from that area. For some reason, every bit of audio I did from there sounded terrible. And then now we are doing yours without a microphone today. But audio aside, I do find myself missing that. Hawaii's great. Like, Maui's beautiful, pretty good roads, pretty good riding, a lot of elevation, almost like Canary Islands type climbing you could do. But there's something about, especially the price. Like, now with the teams gone, you could go to Altea, that town, and like, I've been finding myself looking at hotels, looking at group rates, seeing if I can take some friends out there for a trip. It is incredible. Hey. Yeah. Well, we'll invite you. Don't worry. You're coming too. But just the price you can get in the riding and how empty it is. That's what blew me away, is the off-season feel, even though the weather is still quite nice, is magical.
Yeah, it is. Well, now for New Year's, it's it's quite busy. Maybe not so many cyclists, but a lot of people here. I actually just went to a restaurant. Luckily I know the owner, and he made a little place for 2 people, for my son and I. It was full. I know, it's a Monday, it's a little village, but the restaurant was full. So there's a lot of people.
Was it in Benicia? Benissa,
yeah.
It's a great town. Love that town. So, Johan, I don't think there's any cycling news, but I know Oscar Onley went to Ineos, but I want to save that for later in the episode. Mm-hmm. Any other cycling news you want to get out there before we get into this prediction challenge?
Not really. There's not much going on. Obviously there's a lot of cyclocross, which is super interesting. Interesting. It's always the same rider who wins, both men.
Well, yesterday was pretty good when Van der Poel wasn't racing. I thought that was the best race of the year.
It was a really good race. Yeah. But, also Lucinda Brandt wins all the races, any, World Cups, super prestige. She wins. I think she didn't win 2 of the races that she has started. So, I think she has 13 or 14 wins now this season, which is incredible.
Yeah. Just on that really quick. So Van der Poel's raced 6 races, 6 wins. No one can touch the guy. He's making the world's best cross riders look silly. Wout van Aert has raced 5 times. These are his results: 7th, 2nd, 6th, 10th. Obviously not as good. Beaten by Tibor Del Grasso in another one of the races. It was at the Zolder Super Prestige that I thought was another fantastic race. I was shocked that he didn't win that against Del Grasso, but as we talked about in our last show, or maybe 2 shows ago, Del Grasso is a huge talent coming up, 22 years old. Great on the road, great on cross. What do we make of this, of them being so different in form in cyclocross? Is there anything to read into this, or no?
Well, first of all, Van Aert, if you look, for example, today, he had 2 flat tires. First he was with, I don't know if you saw the race today, but Van der Poel and Van Aert were escaped. Then Van Aert had a flat. Got back he was back in the group behind, then he had another flat. So, but anyways, it's clear that Van der Poel is miles ahead of Wout van Aert and above everybody else. It would take an accident or an illness for him to not become, for the 8th time world champion, which is unbelievable. Think about that.
It is unbelievable. Yeah.
8th world champion. Right now he's 7, so he's tied with Eric de Vlaming, Roger de Vlaming's brother, and so if he wins, and all these races he's doing now is actually basically a warm up towards the World Championships, which is his big goal. And then apparently, I don't know if it's confirmed, but he hinted to, if he wins the Worlds, that's it for cyclocross for him. He's gonna pull the plug on cyclocross, which, there's nothing else to win for him. That's
Yeah.
it.
Should he do?
He also wants to really. Obviously he loves cyclocross. He started as a cyclocross rider. He before he was a road racer, he was a cyclocross rider, and so was Wout van Aert, by the way. But I think he also wants to try, a complete preparation, a winter without cyclocross, and focusing exclusively on preparing for the classics. I think it makes sense, man. I think it makes sense. But in the meantime, the races that I've seen all of them on TV. It's crazy. The first race he did was in Namur. That was the only race where it was suspense until the end.
Yeah.
Thibaut was able to follow him quite a few times, and then finally he made a mistake and crashed Thibaut. But other than that, listen, I couldn't have compared to anything better than Van der Poel in cyclocross. It is like his bike is on rails. He has that much power that he just goes on rails through the sand, through the mud. It's unbelievable. The difference is astonishing.
I'm not a cross expert by any. I am a Cat 1 in cyclocross. I think that was an administrative error. I don't know how that happened, but my best guess is he's the best bike handler and also the strongest. So there's no weakness. Like, he never seems to have a weak point. I don't know what his running is like, but he's such a good bike handler. It's almost like he's never running. He's just watching him ride these technical sections.
Here's a little thing. A little detail. I saw a little detail. Yesterday he didn't race. No, in Gavere. So Gavere is usually. It's the monument of the cyclocross races. Usually it's very hard. A lot of mud. Now it was frozen, so they did some previews. Van der Poel, and most of them decided, okay, there's not going to be any running here. But Van der Poel took it a notch up. He was so certain that he was not going to run that he started with aero overshoes.
That is crazy.
And
yeah.
But basically, if you put aero overshoes, it's difficult to run because you don't have the
you're slipping around. You have no grip. That is wild.
I think that's a first, man. A cyclocross with aero overshoes. That was something. That was a first.
And I'm going to be going so fast in these straightaways. I need an aero overshoe. This is something I was wondering as well. So they're doing. You see Van Aert in these cross races. He looks like he's suffering, but you'd imagine that's good because he's doing efforts this time of year. Apparently, that's a thing now. We saw Pogačar. I estimated, by the way, his power on Col de Rats is 566 watts for 12 minutes. It will be lower than that because he was drafting, and that calculation's without draft, but that's hard. It's a hard little effort he did. So apparently this is what everyone's doing now, hard efforts in December. Is this helping or hurting or not affecting their road season? If Van der Poel doesn't do cross next year in preparation for road, is that better or worse? Is this actually helping them prepare?
I think this helps, especially if you're, listen, these two riders are cyclocross specialists. Now, it seems to me like Van der Poel remained the big specialist, and Wout, by doing it less and less, is technically losing a bit of his skills. I don't think he will contradict that.
You see him in the technical sections hurting more than the others.
Yeah. It's still pretty impressive. It's still quite amazing. But if you look, 3-4 years ago, it was super, super tight, between Van der Poel and Van Aert. We never knew who was going to win. 110 is one, But I think since Van der Poel won that sprint in the World Championships against Van Aert where was it? It was in Holland. It was in the Netherlands. I don't remember the place. Since then, it's been a different story. He has won, I think, all of the confrontations against Wout. And Wout, I think Wout gives less and less priority also. He keeps doing it because he likes it, and, he has a lot of fans. Spencer, it's pretty crazy. If you go to a cyclocross, especially in Belgium, and even if there's Van Aert and Van der Poel, it is Van Aert. All the people is Van Aert, Wout. It's crazy how popular he is. So I think he does it a bit for the fans also, but I think both of them are going to gradually. Listen, they're also not at the beginning of their careers, right? So
Yeah.
I think it's logical. They've started as cyclocross riders. They did a lot of cyclocross, and it's gradually getting less and less. And I think both of them are going to gradually fade out of the cyclocross scene.
I mean, if you think of someone like Mads Pedersen, he's not doing the cross. He's preparing for the classics right now. And I mean, it remains to be seen if that becomes a problem. I think it potentially could be. He's very good. Yeah, and as you say, Van der Poel, what is left to do? What are we doing here, man? He wins every race. He's going to win the world championships. At a certain point, that's not exciting, and there's golf simulators to be in this time of year instead of in cold Belgian fields. I do agree with you on the fans. You can tell that through TV that's important for Wout to be there.
Yeah,
maybe he never stops doing it, but yeah, it's not the beginning of their careers. They need to get serious
also,
about road.
They're both at a point in their careers that their contracts with the team and on the road are so big.
Yeah.
That whatever they make, I mean, these start fees for the cyclocross races, it's not making any difference in their, on their bank account. I mean, so yeah, I think it's a natural process that, and then then we're going to see cyclocross races that are really, suspense until the end, because when those two guys are not there, especially when Van Aert, when Van der Poel is not there, we never know who's going to win.
You also get the feeling Van Aert is not putting his whole heart, and not his heart, but this is off season for him. I don't know. Van der Poel seems to be the same. It doesn't matter, but Van Aert, you look at him, and I just looking at him and knowing how good he is on, when he's fit, you're like, oh, this is off season for him. He is trying to get in shape, and you can see it. Just shout out though to Thibaut Nies, 23, 5 wins so far this year, and then Thibaut Del Grasso, 22, beat Van Aert. Those, if you're wondering, who's going to beat these guys in the classic someday, I think those two guys are two guys to look.
Oh,
toward.
Those two guys are, the real deal. Also on the road, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, they are. Del Grasso, because you hear about these riders, and I'm going to ask a question about this later in the episode, and you're like, I don't know, are they really ever going to be as good as people say? Del Grasso, he almost feels like he's getting better every day. He looks better every time he races.
Did you see that? That's there's been on social media, there's been layovers or comparisons between Wout sprinting against Van der Poel in the Tour of Flanders side by side. The Jumbo ride, and versus the Dutch champion Van der Poel, and now Van Aert versus Thibaut Del Grasso. It's the same sprint. It's identical. It's it's like I'm going to even say the style of sprinting of Del Grasso is almost identical to the one of Van der Poel. And two times Van Aert. I'm not going to say it's a mistake, but he just waits a fraction of a second too long, and both of the times, both Van der Poel and Del Grasso get a tiny bit more speed at the beginning, and he cannot make it up.
Yeah, Van Aert, for some reason, great bunch sprinter, obviously, like one on the Champs-Elysees, he almost seems to biff it a lot in these one-on-one sprints. I don't quite know what it is, or maybe he needs to be sprinting off a higher speed than Del Grasso and Van der Poel, who are two of the most explosive riders I've ever seen. While we're talking about Van der Poel, did you notice this? Can you tell me if you can see this picture? Is Van der Poel's seat too high? Like, look how he's on his tippy toes on his cross bike.
Well, yeah, no, his seat is not too high, but Van der Poel is a rider who is, he in my opinion, he is a bit higher than the usual road rider. But I think that's a special moment.
It there. Also, yeah, you also could be rotating. So when you see I just held up an image of Van der Poel in a cross race. You never know how their hips are rotated.
Exactly. Maybe also a tiny bit of the saddle because there's a little bump or something.
Yeah.
But I do agree that, he's a bit higher than the usual professional cyclist, but I'm pretty sure that, listen, Spencer, that guy, that power he has, that must be like, in my opinion, his position is studied, like to the millimeter.
Well, I only bring this up because you and I know another like generationally great rider who also is pretty high on the saddle. And you're like, would these guys be even stronger if they just lowered their saddle a little bit?
Who's the other guy?
I don't want to call anybody out. Have you ridden with anyone recently who's on their tippy toes on their road bike?
Yeah, but that's I mean, you're talking about Lance. His saddle. I think his saddle is higher now than when he was.
Okay, so it's creep. There's been saddle creep since retirement.
It's high. I already told him that I thought his saddle was too high. But when he was a pro, he listened. Now he doesn't listen anymore. He doesn't.
Yeah, I'm like, is this going around? Is this a problem with amazing riders? Or saddles are too high? They could be even
but
better.
when he was a pro, his saddle was on the high end, but it was not as high as it is now.
Okay, all right, that's good to know. Maybe I should. I was riding. Grade them this time next year, which I am excited about. But just my friend Jonathan Kaplan was asking me like predictions for 2026. I was thinking like, man, I haven't really thought about it. But then I started to think about it, and it's kind of interesting. Obviously, we're going to be wrong. And the thing I noticed when you try to do this is you try to like we asked a commentator, someone that commentates on TV, and everything they said, I'm like, wow, that's so cool. But they're basically painting a story with their predictions. And then this is a problem you tend to do just as a society, as people, you like write the story you want to hear versus what actually is going to happen. So I'm curious to see how this ends up being at the end. But we're going to go through monuments, Grand Tours, World Championships, and green jersey at the Tour. So for the first monument of 2026, Milano-San Remo, who do you think is going to win this race?
Yeah. Well, I mean, when we make these predictions or we think what's going to happen, I just assume that this is under normal circumstances. Yeah, so we're going to get it wrong at some point, because
things like someone's not going to show up to one of the races because something happens to them.
Injured. But, Spencer, in my opinion, if everything is normal and nothing crazy happens, nobody is falling out or is injured or sick, rather than going through the one by one, in my opinion, there's two riders who will win all five monuments. It's for me, it's Mathieu van der Poel who's going to win Milan-San Remo again normally, unless Tadej can drop him this time on let's say if Van der Poel is 100%, Pogačar's not dropping him on the Poggio. He might be a bit off. He might be 98%, and then it's Pogačar. But I'm going to say Van der Poel wins Milan-San Remo. Pogačar wins Flanders. Van der Poel wins Roubaix, which is a difficult one to predict because there's the factor mechanicals and stuff like that. Yeah, right. Liège-Bastogne-Liège, Pogačar, Lombardy, Pogačar. I mean, these two riders are winning all five monuments, in my opinion.
I think what you said is probably correct.
Which is the same as 2025, right?
It is exactly the same. Yeah. Van der Poel, San Remo, Pogačar, Flanders, Van der Poel, Roubaix, Pogačar, Liège, and Lombardia. I could be brainwashed because I'm just come out of the camp. I was just in the UAE camp bubble. So maybe I'm brainwashed. The sense I got is we have not seen the best Tadej Pogačar. That like the rider we're going to see in 2026 is going to be better than the rider we saw in 2025. I'm going Pogačar. I think he's going to sweep the monuments. I think we're going to see something.
Crazy. You are.
It's not impossible though, which is wild.
It's true. It is possible. It is definitely possible. I don't think anybody has ever done all five, in the same year.
No. I mean, there's only a few riders that have won all five total.
Yeah.
It would be. I mean, it would be obviously unbelievable if you
do
did
you
that.
remember off the top of your head who won all 5?
I believe
off the top of your head. I mean,
I want to say Eddie Merckx, Roger de Vlaeminck.
I'm pretty sure also Rick van Looy.
Yes, I think that's right. Let's see. Oh, here. It's like right here.
More. There's one more.
Okay.
Who's the other guy?
You know who came really close is Gilbert.
Well, he never won Milan-San Remo.
Yeah. Oh, is there just a list of Okay, so
I think it's another Belgian. I think actually it's 4 Belgians. Who's the other guy?
So Eddie Merckx, Roger de Vlaeminck. I'm just looking at the list. Rick van Looy, and then is there another one? I don't know if there is.
Maybe not.
Someone's screaming at us right now if there is. I don't think there is. I'm looking at it's a table of how many times each rider has won each one, and I don't think it's just those 3. I don't think there's anybody else. Wow.
I had the impression there was another one, but maybe
because Gilbert missed one, Lucien Bobet missed one,
Lucien Bobet, yeah,
Germain Derek.
Oh, Germain Derek. Oh wow, I raced with his son.
Really?
Yeah.
And then no one's even. There's not really anyone close after those guys. Wow.
Yeah, well, so I think we're going to have somebody in the comments screaming at us for some reason.
If we missed it, we apologize to the agita we've caused somewhat. It's like, should we ask ChatGPT's never right about this? Riders
know the answer.
Well, while I look this up, here's a question. And the professional cyclist proposed this. This is not just a random Reddit person. To win Sanremo, obviously, that's going to be very hard for Pogačar. Should he do nothing and just, as we were just talking about funky sprints, should he just go for the sprint? I mean, if you run it enough times, like he maybe could beat Van der Poel if enough weird things happen.
Well, if he does nothing, then I think there's also the possibility that a sprinter could make it over the Poggio or could come back. Yeah, I think Pogačar
that's a good point.
His team needs to make it hard on the Cipressa to, wear out the sprinters and then basically have it a mano a mano against Van der Poel. Yeah, he could gamble, you could try to get away on the Cipressa also, but then I think that the problem will be that between the Cipressa and the Poggio, if Van der Poel is not there, they're coming back.
Yeah. I hadn't really thought about that. If he doesn't do anything, does Philipsen just win? Just wax him in the sprint?
Well,
Mads Pedersen.
I mean, you could also say, well, if Pogačar doesn't do anything, his attack on the Poggio will be that much stronger.
Yeah, we saw Vincenzo Nibali win that way. I think what we saw though, if you watch that Col de Rates video, is that them practicing a lead out for the Cipressa. I tend to think we're going to see them try to launch him there. I don't know if that works though. It's the most interesting race of the year by far for a reason, because it's hard to predict.
The most unpredictable. Sure.
So let's I looked it up. There is only 3 riders that have won all 5 monuments. I'm predicting Pogačar to do that in the single season, but I don't know why. I don't know why. He just blew me away. He kind of has an aura that not a lot of riders have.
I think it's clear what he wants. He doesn't do any single stage race until Romandy, right? So he wants those one-day races. He wants Milan-San Remo, Flanders.
The guy's he's a full-time one-day racer, and he's treating his Grand Tours like they're a side job. He didn't really seem to be giving them much thought at the training camp. It's just wild.
Well, that's okay. That's what he said, right?
But he did just fly. He flew in from Roubaix. I couldn't believe that.
Yeah.
Can you imagine Lance going and doing Roubaix recon in December, in the middle of his no.
No. I think Wout did it, right? Wout van Aert did it also. No, in December he also went on.
Yeah,
he was testing the equipment, like these special hubs with the self-inflating and deflating tires.
which I think will be a big.
When they announced his, you were there when they announced his program. Did he announce Amstel? Is he going to do Amstel again?
It's kind of funny when they do that. He didn't list, go through a list. He just kind of said the classic. He said start with Strada and then the classics.
Oh, okay.
He didn't mention, or he said the monuments. He didn't mention Amstel, and it's not on the schedule. He might not be going because that Roubaix to Liège bridge is so hard.
That's the thing. What I was last year, this season. 2025. I think he was paying for the efforts of Flanders and Roubaix in Amstel.
I agree.
It's a completely different race, and maybe it's better for him to just train properly for Liège, rather than racing Amstel.
Yep. And I looked it up, and this could be another one I'm biffing, but so he got second Roubaix, second at Amstel, and that might be the best combined results in those two races ever. It's very rare you see someone win.
Yeah, it's a different type of rider. Normally is a different type of rider.
Yeah.
Already I remember back in the days, even when George was riding Flanders and Roubaix, and then, make it to Amstel. Make it to Amstel was already a challenge. And then in Amstel, normally these guys were not good. They were okay, but not in it to win it in the final,
Yeah. Well, I think we meant to take an ad break and we did not. So let's take that ad break. Then we'll be back for the Grand Tours predictions.
Hey everybody, this episode is brought to you by Gusto. When I first started my Beyond the Peloton newsletter, I wanted to break down professional cycling in depth, not calculate tax withholdings. And so as the business grew, I quickly realized I needed help so I could get back to focusing on the nitty gritty of pro cycling and less on my quarterly taxes or whatever you're supposed to do there. That's where Gusto has been a lifesaver. And what is Gusto, you might ask? It's an online payroll and benefit software built for small businesses. It's all in one, remote friendly, and incredibly easy to use. So you can pay, hire, onboard, and support your team from anywhere. It has automatic payroll tax filing, which is key, simple direct deposits, health benefits, you name it. Gusto makes it simple and has options for nearly every budget. It has unlimited payroll runs for one monthly price, no hidden fees, no surprises. Try Gusto today at gusto.com/themove. That's gusto.com/themove. And get 3 months free when you run your first payroll. That's 3 months free of payroll at gusto.com/themove. I got to say, I love Gusto. If you have a small business, you got to get Gusto. It was a game changer for me. I promise it will help you. Gusto.com/themove. Everybody, this episode is brought to you by Hims. You shouldn't have to rearrange your life to deal with hair loss, and Hims makes expert care accessible on your schedule so you can focus on feeling like yourself again. That's where Hims really pulls ahead. They make it easy to take control with simple, personalized care that actually fits your life. Hims gives you convenient access to prescription hair loss treatments that work, including Choose oral meds, serums, and sprays, all backed by clinically proven ingredients like finasteride and minoxidil that can stop hair loss and even regrow hair in as little as 3 to 6 months. The best part, it's all 100% online. You connect with a licensed medical provider, get a treatment plan personalized for you, and it ships right to your door. No waiting rooms, no awkward pharmacy lines, no surprises, just expert care on your schedule. So for simple online personalized care for things like hair loss, ED, weight loss, and more, visit hims.com/themove. That's hims.com/themove for a free online visit. hims.com/themove. Individual results may vary based on studies of topical and oral minoxidil and finasteride. Featured products include compounded drug products, which the FDA does not approve or verify for safety, effectiveness, or quality. Prescription required. See website for full details, restrictions, and important safety information.
All right, Johan. So the 3 Grand Tours, the Giro d'Italia, Tour de France, Vuelta a España. Who do you think is going to win these? Obviously, we don't know. We don't really know for sure who's going to be at the Giro, the Vuelta, but just best guess. Who do you think wins these things?
Well, I think the Giro, if it's true, the rumors that we hear that Jonas Vingegaard is contemplating going, I think if he's at the start, he wins the Giro d'Italia. Other than, I mean, there's Primoz Roglic. Is Primoz doing the Giro? I mean, and he has confirmed the Vuelta, but I don't know if he's going to the Giro though, because it's Pellizzari and who else was it? There was another guy. Maybe it's Pellizzari and Primoz. I don't know.
It's not on his schedule, actually. Hold on a second. Was it? It's not Rimco. That was like a false flag operation. That wasn't actually him. Let's look at the start list. Red Bull. Who is doing it for them? Oh, okay. Yeah, Jai Hindley in Pellizzari.
Yeah.
So Hindley actually, I think he could have a good 2026. He finished 2025 strong. I think. Did you pick Jonas?
Yeah, Jonas.
If he does it, yeah. I'm picking the same guy.
I haven't seen any confirmation though that he. I mean, they were considering it, so that they haven't decided yet.
I think he's so good. He's so much better than the third best GC rider in the sport that it's almost worth picking him, even if you don't know for sure. Because if he does it, he'll probably win it.
Yeah. So Giro, Jonas. Who do you pick?
Jonas.
Okay.
For the Giro. Tour. Yeah, I think
Tadej Pogačar is he only loses if something happens to him, like a crash or an illness, I think.
I mean, if we're really trying to gamify this, one of us would pick someone that was not him. And then we would say, look, we're so smart. We knew he wasn't going to win, but I think he probably wins.
Yeah. Yeah. And the Vuelta, I put a question mark, Spencer, because the Vuelta, typically we don't know who's going. You know, I mean, we know Primoz is going. So let's say if Jonas and Tadej are not doing the Vuelta, then I'm going to pick Primoz. Would make him the only record holder. Now he's tied with Roberto Heras. They both won 4 times, and he could win it 5 times. But still, I don't think we've seen in 2025 signs that Primoz was in contention for a Grand Tour. He was not. I mean, he crashed out of the Giro, I think. I mean, he crashed and then he abandoned, right?
Yeah.
And the Tour, I mean, he was okay, but he was never at the level that we are used from him. So listen, if this is a season where Primoz focuses on winning his 5th Vuelta and then going for 1-week races, which he usually did in the past, then I wouldn't put it past Primoz to win the Vuelta.
I'm going to pick Pogačar just because if he does it, he'll probably win it. I'm a little worried. I was going through Primo's results yesterday on the plane. I'm a little worried he's done winning Grand Tours. These Grand Tour winners, they turn a corner and then they can't win anymore. Yeah. I'm worried we've arrived there. I would love to see him win the Vuelta.
Yates, and you win your second Grand Tour 7 years after your first one.
Yeah, the only thing about that, I was anticipating you saying this. Yates kind of tricked us because he won that. He was so good so young. Simon Yates is 33 years old. He's like not that old. Roglic is, I believe, 3 or 4 years older than him. 36. So 36. Simon Yates is only at the age Roglic was when he was winning loads of he's probably at his prime at 33. And so Simon Yates isn't as old as we perceive him to be.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm going to pick. Yeah, Pogačar.
No, listen, I mean, I agree. If Pogačar starts the Vuelta, he's winning. Question is, will he start? Right? If it's not so much about the quantity of races that Pogačar would be doing if he does the Vuelta, but I think it's the pressure. Every single race, it's the pressure in the race, but it's also the whole circus around the figure of Pogačar. Every time he's at the start of a race, that I think personally, especially even after the Tour, that he probably say, okay, you know what? time to breathe a bit, you know?
Yeah, you did get that sense that it's a lot. It's a lot. And these questions, I mean, we were saying this privately at lunch, just these questions, I can't imagine having to sit through that all the time. It's like not always the most sophisticated line of questioning.
Sometimes I really feel bad for these guys. I mean, at the Tour de France, especially, you know, it's because it's every day, right? I mean, and every day, and you're sitting there, and I mean, I don't want to point out anybody, but there are some journalists who ask some really stupid questions that I think, and then I put myself in the place of that cyclist. What the hell do you want to answer to this? You know, it's like, and you can see really the boredness on the face of the rider when he answers. Doesn't even know what he answers. Just says something. Just babbles.
There's an interview with Bradley Wiggins where he was saying you have to treat the press like they're stupid and they don't know what they're talking about, which sounds harsh, but these guys, they just have to give programmed answers all the time.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
well, I mean, there. And also, listen, Spencer, I mean, in defense of the journalists who are sitting in press conferences, it is always the same thing, right? I mean, what else do you want to ask? You know?
Yeah, stage 4 of the tour. What's different than stage 14?
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah.
And so I'm penciling you in for Roglic for the Vuelta.
Yeah.
So I think the next one I think could be the best competition of the year. Green jersey Tour de France. Who are you picking for that?
Jasper Philipsen.
Yeah, that's a pretty good pick. I'm going to go. This is probably my least scientific of my picks. Mads Pedersen. I haven't not studied the course enough to know where the points are given out.
Mads Pedersen is an animal, and
he is.
He can win any points jersey in any Grand Tour.
I mean, it wasn't at it might not have been a good course for him this year to win the green jersey because there was it would be a sprint 15K into the stage, and that's probably too easy to control. But man, he could give someone like Philipsen a lot of problems. And Philipsen's a great rider. That's a guy who's finished second at Roubaix twice. So that's how good. Mads Pedersen, I think, I didn't pick him to win any monuments. I wouldn't be shocked if he wins a monument this year. The guy is unbelievable.
Yeah. Yeah. He was every single monument he was up there. And, I mean, at least the ones that are suited for him, not Liège and not Lombardy, but all the classics, all the cobbled classics, he was there. I mean, that's maybe we haven't talked much about it, but man, his victory in Wevelgem and how he won that was something.
Yeah, it was. He also, I mean, I don't want to read too much into this comment, but he won. Do you remember Uman? It's like human with an I. They're the underwear sponsor of the Giro. And I think the winner of the points jersey got like a bunch of, they're supposed to be unbreakable underwear, which I don't know why you would need. But he said, he's like, I'm going to try to fart a hole in these before the start of next year's Giro. You're like, man, that guy's motivated. He's not scared of the challenge. But so World Championships, time trial and road race. I'm going to be honest. I don't think I've looked at the time trial route, but I do have someone that I think could win it.
Yeah. Remco wins the World Championships. For the moment, I don't think there's anybody who can beat him. Even if it's a hard course, he's still, there's something about him and that individual effort. I mean, look, we've seen, Pogačar was not at the top when he did the time trial in the World Championship because he was jet lagged, came from Canada. But I mean, that was a hard course and Remco just smoked everybody there. So yeah, World Championships is Remco and Tadej again. I said the only thing that can disturb these predictions, Spencer, if something happens to these guys, or they're out with an injury or an illness or something.
Yeah, I think Remco. I mean, because we saw, because Pogačar wasn't at his best at the World Championships, but even I think it was stage 7 of the 2024 Tour in Gevrey-Chambertin. They had a time trial that was pretty even. You know, it was a little bit of climbing, a little bit of flat, a little bit of descending. And Pogačar was obviously in shape because he won that tour, and he still got beat by Remco. So Remco, I mean, that's as close to perfect at time trials as you can get. I don't think you can get much better than he can.
I think I think we can say Remco's the best time trialist. We would say ever.
I think we did this on the show, and if he wins one more world title, he's getting to a point where it's hard to deny that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Was it Tony Martin who won 4 times or 5 times the world championships?
Tony Martin had more than I remember. Man, I might have this in my notes somewhere. Oh man, I can't. Yeah, he had some crazy amount. It was like four world titles, I want to say. And did he have multiple Olympic titles? No, because 2008 was Cancellara.
Cancellara won in 2008 and 2012
and 2016.
No. Sorry. 2012. No, 2012 he was second.
Well, yeah. What are we talking about?
Against one. So
our coworker won in 2012.
Yeah, 2008, 2016. It was
okay.
Early.
Yeah. And so I think, who do you think wins the road race? I agree with you. I think Remco's winning time trial.
Pogačar. And it's in Montreal. I mean, he's winning all the time. The World Cup race there. So the World Tour race. So I think Pogačar wins it. I mean, it's 60 kilometers longer.
Are they doing the World Tour race 2 weeks before the?
Yes, they do.
And it's similar circuit, right?
It's on that course, I think.
I think there might be a slight.
I mean, they're probably going to change it a bit, but
yeah,
I think what's the climb there? There's this one climb that they're definitely doing that climb.
That's interesting. I mean, I'm going for the world title, but if you really had a lot of time on your hands, go for both of those and stay in between.
I mean, it's fun. Spencer, I'm gonna, it's hard, but it's not as hard, for example, as Kigali.
That's true. I mean, Kigali, that might be one of the hardest we ever see. Yeah. So it is more open than it has been in the last years. But
well, I mean, but if you say that Pogačar is going to be better than 2025, then whatever. I mean,
yeah, I will just say I was from the outside. We hear like, oh, he's bored, he's going to retire, and you don't get that sense at all when he's in the room. You know, this is a man on a mission.
Yeah.
So Oscar Onley, I like those predictions. I'm excited to check in on them next year. Oscar Onley officially joined Ineos. I believe you said that. You predicted that. The rumored or reported transfer fee from Picnic Post-NL, 6 million euros. That's a nice little, this explains why this happens somewhat without issue and Picnic signed the deal, because that's a lot of money for a team like that. Oscar Onley is 23 years old, finished 4th at the Tour de France, British rider. Kind of makes sense for him to go to. He's 23. Turned 23 in October. So I'll be 23 all next year.
Oh, wow.
And yeah, I mean, he also, you forget he was 3rd at Tour de Switzerland, like a hard Tour de Switzerland with very good competition. It was Almeida, Kevin Vauclon, Oscar Onley, 2 of those guys going to Ineos next year. That's a lot of money, though. I mean, because then we saw, to compare this, we saw 10 million euro buyout for Juan Ayuso. Remco probably close to around that. Derek G probably close to around that.
Remco, Spencer, I think, I mean, these amounts are out of control, man. I mean, the thing is now the trend is set, right? So where is this going to stop? I thought already 7 million for Remco it's a big gamble. You know, it's a huge gamble because, you know, basically you're buying someone that has to basically lead the team and carry the weight of the whole team. And it obviously we're talking about 3 teams who have, I'm not going to say unlimited, but very deep pockets. Red Bull has a big budget, a huge budget. Ineos has a big budget, and Little Trek now also have a huge budget, with Little now being the majority owner of the team. So I still think it's a big gamble, man. Like, I mean, 10 million for Ayuso.
And when you reverse engineer that and say, what would you be happy with?
We're talking about 3 riders who, okay, Remco, I think Remco sticks out because he has a palmarès. He's won a Grand Tour. He's been 3rd in the Tour de France, won monuments.
Potentially the best time trialist of all time.
Multiple world champion in several, on the road and in the time trial, Olympic gold. There are not many riders that have the same palmarès. I think it's only Pogačar who's done better. If you look at the victories, the pure victories, there's nobody else.
Maybe you would say 2 Tour de France's trumps that for Jonas. For Jonas,
the 2 tours and 1 Vuelta. Double Olympic gold. How many world time trials he has now? I think he has 4. No, 1 on the road and 3 in the time trial.
Yeah, and an Olympic. A double Olympic gold.
The Olympic gold
trial.
A Vuelta
on road.
Plus he's younger also.
A lot of monument success that Jonas hasn't had.
Question is, Spencer, let's assume Jonas Vingegaard all of a sudden is on the market for a transfer. How much would they pay for?
Well, the weird thing about these figures is you just said Ayuso 10 million, Remco 7 million. It was like, well, what? Why is Juan Ayuso worth 3 million? I think the length of his contract played into that. Remco was an expiring deal; they would have lost him. But does that make any sense? Why is Oscar only 6 million euros and Remco 7 million euros? Like, what's going on here? Some of it seems a little funny.
I for Oscar only, he's a great rider. But he's 4th. He's been 4th in the Tour. If they would have asked me, how much do you think they're going to pay for him? I would have said 2.5, 3 maximum as a transfer. But 6 million. Plus, I don't know. He's going to sign a 3-year deal, 4-year deal. I don't know. It's going to be
a lot of money.
It's going to be 3 million minimum.
Yeah, I'm trying to think though. If I was managing Ineos, the team, the cycling team, and I had a mandate to sign the best British Grand Tour, like the British rider that was most likely to win the Tour de France, and money's not an issue. You can kind of see how the figures can get that high because there's no second option for you. It's Oscar only or bust at this point.
Yeah. Yeah. The question is though, is he going to win the Tour? He's young. So
he's
20
very good.
Old.
So
we have to look, 5-6 years ahead. And, there's obviously going to be some of those guys. Pogačar and Jonas are not going to be here for another 6 years, I think. They could physically, but I think mentally that they're not able to do it for another 6 years. I don't think so.
Well, and you get weird tours. And think of Vincenzo Nibali, 2014. Who saw that come? Just stuff opens up and you can win. Yeah. And I think the thing though you have to ask yourself is if Oscar only does.
Spencer, you have Florian Lipowitz, who beat Oscar only, who's young also.
Who's also young. Who they're not paying 6 million transfer fee for. They just signed for free.
No.
And then the money they paid him. That shows you why development is so important. If he can spot these riders before they get to that level, it's a huge advantage. I just can't get over this question of if Oscar only doesn't win the Tour, how do you feel about that as the team? Are you disappointed? Are you happy with it? Like what could Juan Ayuso do in his career that would make them feel good about that $10 million fee, 10 million euro fee?
But he needs to win a Grand Tour.
Yeah,
for sure.
I mean, maybe multiple.
Yeah.
I mean, it's that that's tough to live up to that expectation.
My question is, Spencer, I would like to know your opinion on this. So we're talking here about Juan Ayuso, who's young. Remco is still relatively young. I mean, he's not the youngest, but he's still young. He's 25, no? Remco, I think.
He's 26.
26. He was still in the white jersey this year.
Well, isn't that 26 and under? Or so, it's some ridiculous age.
I don't know.
Oh no, you're right. You're right. He's 25. That's why he was in the white jersey.
Okay, so
he might still be eligible for the white jersey next year.
So what's Ayuso, 23?
Yeah, he's actually been pro longer than you think.
Yeah, or he was 19 and he was third in the Vuelta. So you have 23 for Ayuso, 25 for Remco, Oscar only 23. These guys, you would say, well, my question is, how much margin of progress is there still with these guys? How much can they improve?
Yeah.
We do seem to look, I'm seeing riders and more, and even in the younger categories, they get to a point, you say, wow, this is amazing. And all of a sudden they stagnate and that's it. The question is, how much can Ayuso and Remco and Oscar only still get better? How much?
Johan, you've walked into our first question. This is something I think about all the time because we see these young riders and we assume a curve of progression that sometimes isn't there, and I think is becoming less and less common. I mean, think of Udo Brooks. It was, what is this guy going to be? It's like that might have been the best Udo Brooks we saw at the 2023 Vuelta. It's not, if you are so dialed in at a young age, that might be it. Here's a question. This is from me. I've been wondering about. So blind resume of riders, 19-year-old from France, won 0 professional races versus a 22-year-old from Mexico, winner of he's a podium finisher on a Grand Tour, winner of, I believe, 19 professional races the last year alone. Who is the better rider now, and then who will be the better rider at the end of their careers? This is Paul Seixas and Isaac Del Toro. If you go to Reddit, it's assumed that Paul Seixas is going to be the best rider of all time. That's the young cycling fan's opinion. Del Toro, the guy's trash. He's never going to do anything. It's like, well, they're only 3 years apart. Winning, Johan, how many riders ever win 19 races in a year? That's like almost never happens.
I'm taking Del Toro over Paul Seixas all the time.
I completely. This is what I spent Thanksgiving doing, arguing with teenagers on Reddit about this.
Well, you're motivated.
But it's like we're looking at a guy that's already at one of his production level for Del Toro is unbelievable. Seixas he's maybe the best 18-year-old we've ever seen, but he still has levels to go before he's even winning races.
Right, let alone to try to first. Let's start with that.
Win a race, yeah.
One thing we know is Del Toro knows how to win races, man. He knows how to win races. He's a racer.
Yeah.
I mean, listen, Seixas is young and he will win races for sure. It's a matter of time. But it's funny. I'm now I'm thinking back at this stage in Tour of the Alps, Spencer, where Seixas
gave it away, right?
He gave it away to his teammate. Was it Nicolas Prudhomme?
Yeah, who then went on to have a career.
He had never won a race, and then he went on to win race after race after race, and Seixas finally didn't win a race.
Yes.
Yeah.
Which is quite bold to be giving away a professional race when you've never won a professional race.
That's being confident, man.
Yeah, I kind of can't believe that. But I think this speaks to, I do think pro cycling at the moment, at least, overestimates it. It overvalues potential and undervalues current production. Simon Yates, your best friend, represents us better than anybody. I mean, he was not the highly thought of. Like you said, that's the biggest transfer of the offseason. I think a lot of people thought, man, that's a nice domestique. He ends up winning a Grand Tour, but that's not a sexy acquisition for our little human brains. We're just like, he's 32 years old. Like, what? I don't like what fun is that? Paul Seychelles, he's 18. Like, he could accomplish anything. And I even think inside the sport, it gets overvalued. It's like, oh, Juan Ayuso, what could he do? It's like, well, he's not that much younger than Remco Evenepoel, who's already at a level that's better than almost every rider. Think about Enric Mas. If I told you Paul Seychelles had Enric Mas's career, you'd probably say that's a huge disappointment, correct? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. What percentage of GC riders ever have a better career than Enric Mas? It must be in the single digits, right?
Not many.
Yeah. I mean, I just think it's almost a disease of the mind, especially the modern mind, that can't comprehend, it can't correctly peg what's success and what's a likely outcome for a prospect. We just assume everyone's going to be the next Pogačar win. That's actually very unlikely. It does almost never happens.
Yeah, for sure.
And here's another question for you. So on the transfers, we're seeing these crazy transfer fees, $6 million for Oscar Onley, $10 million for Juan Ayuso, $7 million for Remco, which could be worth it based on what we just said. Derek G is going to get or NSN is going to get a big old bag for Derek G. It's a lot of money. So both for the team selling and buying. And then you have guys like Cam Jones, who I know personally. I've interviewed him before, but he's from New Zealand. He won Unbound.
Who's that, Spencer?
He's a gravel racer. He won Unbound gravel. Gravel, I think is the race. It's like the big gravel race. And he won the Lifetime Grand Prix, the overall, which is impressive because he had to do well at Leadville. And this guy, he's big. He's 83 kilos. And he got, I think, 10th at Leadville, it's an all altitude climbing race. He did a little Christmas Day ride, I believe, 500 kilometers, 13 hours, average power, 302 watts, average heart rate, 135. So he's probably in about high zone 1 for that 300 watt effort for 13 hours. That puts his FTP like high 400s. Should teams be going after, it's like, wow, that's a big engine. Maybe we see what we can do with it. Throw him a couple €100,000. If it works out, it's great. Maybe you sell him for a ton. If not,
yeah, it's worth the gamble. The question of how old is he?
He might be the disease. These ages are like diseases. People don't want to touch him. I think he's 24, 25. Okay. Just turned 25.
Yeah, I think the question is, throw him in the pro peloton in Europe. Is he able to ride in a bunch?
Yeah, he is an ex World Cup mountain biker. So it's not, he does not have no skills, clearly.
Well, that's not the Spencer. Being a mountain biker is no guarantee to be able to ride in a bunch. There was a guy, he learned how to ride in a bunch, but he was never good at it. Cadel Evans. He was a mountain.
He did pretty well, though. He had some decent results.
Yeah, but he was terrible in a bunch.
Yeah. I did. Now that you're saying that, I'm kind of remembering a lot of issues in the bunch. It is a unique skill.
Years of a pro, then after ultimately he learned it. But listen, whatever happened to him, that's not possible anymore in today's cycling. I think. You see these guys coming late to the game, even Primoz, obviously Primoz has issues, you have this other guy, what's his dad's name? It's not such a big name, but also came late to the game. This guy, Bart Lemon on Visma.
Yeah.
They're strong riders, but, and then they're strong in certain races, like, 0.2 races and where the bunch is not so strong. But when you're really in the big races, man, you have to be skilled, man. And whether you have been a mountain biker or a gravel racer, it's completely irrelevant once you are in a big bunch in the top races.
That is true. It is a unique skill. It is a different sport, so you have to learn that. Not ideal, but I'm wondering if these figures are getting. If you're a team like Jayco, do you have any other option? What are you going to do? Like, can't pay $6 million for Oscar Onley.
Spencer, you're right. I mean, there should be a team who sees these performances and says, hey, you know what? Listen, you say 200, even if they give him 100,000, he's going to take it, you know?
Yeah. All expenses paid, 100K, which is not the same in gravel.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So, yeah. There should be a team looking at this and give it a go, you know? There's nothing to lose.
I agree. I'm actually shocked that guys. I mean, part of it's timing too, because he wins Unbound in June. You know, a lot of negotiations for 2026 are probably underway. There's not a lot of roster spots, even at that available.
There's always that odd spot left. You know, with teams that, you know, they run out of budget. They have a little bit left, but you know, then the good riders don't want to come for that amount of money. It's I would give it a go.
I would too. I'm surprised. Actually, my prediction is that this will become a trend.
Let's start a campaign. Let's be the agent, the pro bono agent of this guy, and let's try to find him a team.
If you want to sign Cam Jones, email info@wedo.team and we'll take a cut.
Have him on the podcast. Let's have him on the podcast.
We should have him on maybe in January. We'll try to get him on here. He's a very nice guy. And that's important too in pro cycling. Got to be a nice person because people are around you all the time. Before we go, Johan, our Strava mileage challenge. This is probably final results or close to final.
Important topic of the podcast, Spencer.
Yeah, I hope people stuck around. So this is a disputed. This might have to go to Kass because Johan on his Strava, on his public Strava, has 12,439 kilometers for the year. I have 12,395 kilometers. So I'm 38 kilometers behind with 3 days remaining. That's doable in theory. But Johan's private Strava on like the feed that he sees is 12,593 kilometers to my 12,395. That's a difference of 198 kilometers. I don't think I can outride you by 66 kilometers for the next 3 days if you're also riding 100 kilometers a day. Well, it probably isn't going to happen.
I have only 2 days left. You have 3 days left, Spencer.
I do have because I'm close to the international date line. So I do have an extra day. With that, I do not think I can close the 198 kilometer gap. But that's exactly what someone would say if they had a plan to do nothing but ride for the next 3 days. So people will just have to stay glued to our Strava accounts to know this happens.
Let's see what the Strava says on the 31st. I think independently, Spencer, I think we've both done well. You know, we've both ridden a lot and, you know, and have had fun on the bike. So we even got to ride together for a little bit.
I know.
2 weeks ago. So that was fun.
It is actually, we were talking privately. It's weird that we both tend to ride right over 12,000 kilometers a year without really thinking about it. Like that's just where we bed in. But then we might have talked about this on the podcast. You wonder, like we're creating neural pathways. Like that's what we're used to riding. That's what we do. Yeah. If you ride with a power meter all the time, I kind of wonder if that's holding people back, especially young riders that ride with power meters all the time. You get used to a certain wattage and then you don't push yourself out of a comfort zone because you just think, oh, that's what I ride. I ride 300 watts all the way around, you know, I just ride that for 6 hours. But could you push yourself more?
I don't ride 300 watts all the time.
That's not, if you're Cam Jones, that's what you're doing. High zone 2, 302. Or high zone 1, 300 watts. Zone 2 might be 350. But yeah, that's not what we're doing. But I wonder if that is holding people back because we're clearly falling into this rhythm where we ride 12,000 kilometers a year. That's obviously a lot. That's more than a lot of people. And it's easy. It is shockingly easy, Johan. If we didn't have this challenge and we stopped riding our bike for a month, we might never get back on. It's very easy not to ride a bike and to get out of the habit.
Yeah. Yeah. But, you know, I mean, once you get into the rhythm and the routine, Spencer, you know, after 2 or 3 days, no riding, you just want to go out on the bike if the weather is okay.
Yeah. And you live in a place that's not terrible for riding. That probably what wears most people down. They don't live in ride friendly places and you get out of the habit. But anything else, Johan, before the year ends?
It's just past midnight and I have to go to bed, man, because I have to write. I have to, or otherwise you're coming for me.
You got to get out there. It's weird that it's wow, we're like living in different days. This complicates the challenge, makes it more interesting. But thanks for a year of great podcasting from you. And we'll speak in first, I don't know, maybe second Friday. I haven't looked at the calendar. We'll speak the second. We will have a show the second week of January coming out.
Okay, good.
All right.
Thank you.
Thanks, Johan.
And Happy New Year to everybody.
Yes. Happy New Year.